The Madam Web movie was never going to make it. From the first time this movie was announced, there was non-stop controversy around it. There were talks about people saying that, they should put a blind old woman as the lead. And I'm like, why would anybody watch that if it wasn't something interesting done? Then rumors kept coming out about how it's going to be, this amazing chick flick that is just supposed to be so great. Then we got the trailer, and literally everybody rolled their eyes so hard the earth actually went backwards for a bit. That's how it was. It wasn't good. Nothing about the show made any interesting, because you see, what these people don't get is that these characters are connected to Spider-Man. You have Morbius connected to Spider-Man and nothing to do with it. That was a massive flop, and I have information on Morbius a little later on. You have Craven, the movie coming up, not connected to Spider-Man. Nobody really cares. You keep doing these movies, and you have to understand, when they're not connected to the person who is instrumental in it, being Spider-Man, nobody cares. You did a Venom movie without Spider-Man in it, and you were like, what were you really hoping for? Come on, these things are part of it. You don't think if you did a movie with Craven the Hunter actually hunting down Spider-Man, people wouldn't like that? The symbiote that we got in the third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire was not good at all. That wasn't good at all. And you had a Morbius movie without Spider-Man, and that shit, of course, was gonna fail. I couldn't even finish watching Morbius. I watched like about 30 minutes, and I was like, oh God, no. And that was it. I never went back. Of course, these movies are not gonna make it if they don't have the central pickup behind them. But they don't want to listen. So Madam Web is supposed to come out on Valentine's Day, and already they're pretty much nailing that coffin on this movie shut. Well, the director came out and put the final nail in the coffin, which he announced, this movie has absolutely nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's going to take place in a completely separate universe. Yeah, that's how you shoot your franchise in the leg, people. Getting to this article here from Bounding Into Comics. Madam Web director puts final nail in film's box office coffin. Confirms Spider-Man spin-off takes place in a standalone world. I don't know who she thinks asked for that, but okay. In confirming that the film will have little to no audiences outside of those with a specific affinity for the web slinger's female allies, or a morbid curiosity towards the fact that it actually went to the Clone Saga storyline for inspiration, Madam Web director S.J. Clarkson has revealed that rather than take place in Sony's Spider-Man without a Spider-Man cinematic universe, the Dakota Johnson-led spin-off instead exists in its own standalone world. If you want to make a movie on your own. When you have these characters associated with Spider-Man, that's what you needed to be associated with Spider-Man. But no, they don't care about that. I really don't think I have any interest in watching this movie, honestly. Never from the beginning. Clarkson confirmed this production fumble during a January 19th interview given to Entertainment Weekly's Devon Coogan in promotion of the film's upcoming release. Speaking to her decision to take a more grounded approach to Cassandra Webb's silver screen debut rather than the more fantastical and bombastic one seen in most other Hollywood superhero flair, the director explained that she did so in service of what she saw as the psychological, cerebral nature of the titular heroine's powers. I don't know who these people, this figure they're trying to fool anymore, If you're going to do a Madam Web series focusing on Cassandra, like I say again, it needs to be associated with Spider-Man. When you want to talk about psychological, cerebral, this and a more grounded approach, you literally want to just take these things, take literal name of these characters, slap it onto a movie and make some kind of chick flick that you want to make and then act like, you know what, everybody needs to love it for that. God, boy. This is what she had to say. Not to sound too wanky about it, but it's about what's going on in Cassie's head and her grappling with that. Is she going insane? Is this real? She's battling with that within herself and trying to understand it. Oh, great. Yeah, this is Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man, number 210. Meet Madam Web. This is the Madam Web that we was introduced to. Madam Web that we met in the Spider-Man animated series. Yes, there have been other characters who've taken the name of Madam Web, but you know, it associated with something, but no, you're not doing that at all. In light of this supposed desire to keep the film from getting too in the sky with its plot, the Marvel Jessica Jones and Marvel Defenders director then revealed that Cassandra's story takes place completely separate from either the MCU, Sony aforementioned Spider-Man without a Spider-Man universe, or any other established continuity. So basically, it's just her own thing that she's doing. She's definitely, this is what she had to say, she's definitely in a standalone world. I was able to just have free reign, oh God, and let the movie be what it needed to be, as opposed to trying to force it into something else. That was a gift in a way, to be able to take something and bring a fresh and I hope original take to it. And this lies the problem. You want to make a fresh original take to it, but you have an established character that you have to do something with. But when you decide you're going to do these fresh takes on it, you take away from who these characters are. And the people who know who these characters are left very confused, because they see what you're doing and they're wondering what this is. And the newcomers who come in will lose all respect for these characters because they don't know the history and the very nature of these characters that have been built up all this time. No, you're just getting what you think is what you want. That's it. However, while Clarkson appears to frame the decision to exile Madam Web from Marvel Cinematic Universes as a purely creative one, given a recent whisper on the digital street, it seems more likely that the movie was decided upon thanks to Sony execs absolutely destroying both the film's internal and franchise timeline in service of chasing marketing strategy with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh great, chasing some crap. Per veteran Hollywood industry reporter and the eponymous founder of the Snyder Entertainment news outlet, Jeff Snyder, who first relayed the rumor via the January 19th episode of his and film critic John Rojas' The Hot Mic podcast. And because of the film's setting sometime in the Sony's universe's past, Madam Web studio handlers thought for some reason that Andrew Garfield was going to be Spider-Man in that world. Well, that didn't happen. Not that he was going to be in the movie, but like maybe this is the sequels or whatever. But for whatever reason, Andrew Garfield was supposed to be Spider-Man in that world. To this end, Snyder then alleged that following the film entering production with Garfield's Peter Parker in mind as its resident web slinger, afterwards it was decided it was going to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man, a change which in turn meant that the timeline didn't line up anymore. As such, the industry veteran then revealed, I heard that the reshoots for Madam Web, the latest reshoots, which I thought they were up to something else, but I'm told the reshoots were actually to remove all the 90s reference from the movie because someone effed up on doing the math as far as like Tom Holland's age would actually be this or whatever it was. And every time they have to do these reshoots, that's money and they have to spend a lot of it. So that's what the reshoots are for, like to address whether it's costumes or style or phony they flip out. I don't know. I was told it was a real someone effed up like up high in terms of the timeline and the math, and it was just a simple matter of effed up math. Could have just gone with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but no. Now, as I said, it's on its way to swing into cinemas on Valentine's Day. So, with all of this, it's going to be its own standalone universe. They're going to be changing this. It's going to have nothing to do with that. All of this is not boding well for the future of Madam Web. And it turns out Madam Web might be in more trouble than even Morbius. Yep, even Morbius. According to this article here from CBR, Madam Web tracking for worse box office opening than Morbius. Current box office projections for the Marvel superhero movie Madam Web hint at the worst opening weekend yet for Sony's Spider-Man universe, and that wouldn't shock me. Long-range box office tracking for Madam Web suggests the audiences are just not interested in Sony's latest non-Spider-Man starring Marvel movie. Well, I could say as an audience member, I am not interested at all. I really don't care. Really and truly could not care at all. According to Box Office Pro, the upcoming superhero team-up movie is currently tracking to earn between $25 million and $35 million in its opening weekend at the box office. If Madam Web does end up launching somewhere in that range, it would mark the lowest opening weekend yet for the franchise. Morbius currently has the worst opening weekend at $39 million, followed by Venom, $80.3 million, and Venom Let There Be Carnage, $90.1 million. Even if Madam Web comes in on the higher end of its tracking, its opening would still be lower than the Marvels, another female-fronted superhero team-up movie that opened in November 2023 with $46.1 million. And we saw what happened with the Marvels. So yeah, it's literally tracking to have a worse box office opening than Morbius. And Morbius, like I said, that movie was so terrible I couldn't even finish watching it. 20-30 minutes and I was out. But this is what keeps happening. You're making these movies not for the fans, but for yourselves and these directors' own ego who want to do as they please. And nobody's interested in this. Like I said, a Madam Web movie that doesn't have any connection to Spider-Man is in no way, shape, or form something anybody's going to care about. The same way Morbius didn't do that. They put in the cameo with Michael Keaton and that still didn't save the movie because the movie was terrible. And is Madam Web going to be any better? Doubtful, because from the trailer I could tell I really have no interest in this. So yeah, Madam Web already looking to swing into another box office disaster because nobody wants to learn. You can't keep doing this crap non-stop. You know your thoughts on this in the comments. Have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.